Hello everyone, March 16th. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it today. Alright, before we start, take a look here. Anything that we need to pay attention to? Not really. Alright, let's do it. What do we have? Best time to buy and sell stock. I must have done it because, with transaction fee. Oh, that's probably not something I've done before. Alright, generally don't like this type of question very much because I guess I don't have a full understanding of it, but I do have, I did solve like a lot of it, and I know the general method of solving it. The best method of solving this type of problem is called state machine. So I'm going to try with state machine. Well, what I think state machine is just a different way to represent a dynamic programming solution. A DP solution might be a little bit harder to reason with, so you can think about it as a state machine, which makes it a bit easier. All right, let's see. We're given a rate of prices, okay, and an integer fee. Find the maximum profit you can achieve. You may complete as many transactions as you like, but you need to pay the transaction fee for each transaction. You may not engage in multiple transactions simultaneously. You must sell the stock before you buy it again. Just regular requirements. Let's see. Maximum profit, buy, sell at 3. Wait, 0, 1, 2, 3. So buy at price 0, 1, 2, 3. Sell, buy at 4, sell at 9, and the total profit is, the transaction fee is for what? Transaction fee is every time you buy or every time you sell. It's like buy and sell is, buy and sell consider one transaction, so we only deduct once. For this one, buy 1, sell at 7, I guess. That's 6. Buy 5, sell at 5, sell at 10. That's 5, so 11. 11 minus 6. Oh, 5, there's better options. Wait, buy 1, sell at 9. Yeah, buy 1, sell at 9, buy 1, sell at 10. And then that's 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay. Let's try state machine. I'm not very confident. I haven't done this for a while. So a state machine, what state do we need? So we have usually we have a state is called holding state. So we call it H as holding. And we have a state, let's call empty, as we don't hold anything. So from a empty state going to a holding state will be, we're going to buy, and from an empty state we can go to itself, which is no transaction. We could put it as no, and then from a holding state to an empty state is sell, and from holding state we can go to itself, which is also a no action, right? So, and also from holding state to the empty state, because the transaction fee is paid only when you sell it, so we also have to pay in the transaction from holding to empty. So our so the holding state, so the empty state will be, let's say, a maximum of no action, which is itself, or a previous holding state value we sell, so it's plus the selling price, so it's going to be PI, right? Plus the selling price, so the holding state, and then we sell, so we get money, right? We get money. And we have to minus the payment, the fee. We minus the fee. So that's the empty state. Now the holding state will be the maximum of itself, which is no transaction, or we're going to buy, so it will be the empty state minus the P. And we just loop through everything and then see how we do. Let's try it. So I'm going to copy the previous one from yesterday, and let's do yesterday right here. Okay, let's do this. Price fee, yeah, that's fine. It will be running ON, that's for sure. So what we initialize it to be? The initialization should be. Oh, that's a good question. Actually, I think did it initialize to 0? I mean, initialization is 0, right? It should be 0. Yeah, I think initialization is 0. So empty state, holding state, they're both 0, and then for I, for P in prices, right? And then E will be the max E, and then H plus P minus phi. And H goes max H E minus P. And then we're going to return empty state, because eventually you have to sell, otherwise it won't be, you won't have sufficient fund. And take a look at the example 132.849. I'm not very confident, so we're gonna see how the test case go, and if the test case didn't go well, we kind of have to dive deeper into this. Prices, fee, right, and then we change this into max profit, prices, and fee. Okay, let's take a look. It's not correct. It's almost correct, but it's not 100% correct. All right, let's take a look. Let's just focus on the first one and see what we get. So what we have is the price is 1,328,49. So in the first time, empty will be 0. H is also 0, so will be plus. We're gonna sell 1. How can we sell 1 when we don't even have anything, right? I think that is the problem. Is you plus 1 means you're selling it. So that means the holding. Let's put holding to a negative value. So in the import math, so let's put holding to a negative value, and try. Then we pass the first one, and we pass the second one. I think that is the trick. And we're going to submit it, and it is going to pass. Okay, we passed it. So I think that is the solution. The solution is state machine. I mean, you guys cannot see. Let me see if I can write it out here. So the state machine means we have 2 states, right? How do I draw it? Geez, I need some place I can draw. Drawing. Let's try to draw it. Hello? Come on. Yep. Let's create a new diagram. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just create it. No, pick folder. We want to do it. No, can we do it not on Google Drive? Cancel. change storage. There we go. Change device. Yeah, I'm gonna just store it on the. Yeah, I'm gonna store it here. Go to desktop. Save it. Which is fine. All right, so let's take a look. What we are trying to say is we're gonna have a state. I'll call it empty. No, holding. So this is a holding state, and we're gonna have another state. Let's call it empty state, right? And then the transaction is basically just changing from the empty state to the holding state to empty state. So how can we change? Now, what we know is the, oh man, can I draw? Man, this is ridiculous. I don't think this one is actually what I want. I don't think I can draw any. This is very stupid. No, I don't like it. I can just draw on my own. Huh. Do we have a drawing on? That's a good question. I don't know if there's a free drawing. Let's search for it. Online free drawing app. It should be. Sketchpad. Okay, sounds promising. Hello. No, I don't. I just want. Okay, okay. So this is the solution. Yep. So we have a holding state, and we have an empty state, right? So a holding state. So let's look at the empty state. How do we enter back into the empty state? No, we can going back to itself, which we can call it a no option, which is just I don't do any transaction. Or we can have a holding state going into the empty state. And to do this, we need to sell, right? And also there will be fee attached to it. So that's how we enter the empty state. Now to go to holding state, first of all, we have holding state can go to itself, which is a no option, no operation. And then we can go from empty state to the holding state. And this one requires buy, right? Requires buy. And that's it. And the state, what it means is just, the state means the profit. Now, is that profit? Yes, the profit. The current profit in the state, the current profit at the state. So with this, what we can write is exactly this thing, right? So for each price, which means for each day, the empty state, we want to maximize it. So it's either by itself, which means there's no operation, or the holding state, we sell, which means we gain money, gain P, and because the fee is only associated with the selling, one transaction, buy and sell, so we minus the fee. And then for the holding state here, it's either itself, which is a no operation, or we buy. Now we buy is just from the E, we need to minus the price. And then we'll loop through, now we're done. And initially we have an error because the initial profit for the holding state we set to 0, which apparently is not good because when we set it to 0, we basically we need to make sure that the first one, like this one, does not happen, right? The sell, when we don't have anything to sell, we don't want it to happen. So we set it to a huge negative number, and then we make sure that this one will not be picked up at the beginning. But it is a little bit weird because even if we do only have a 0, right? If we have a 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So the E will actually still be 0. Oh, it's this thing. It's here. If E is 0, then 0 minus P will become a negative value, so the h will pick 0. So that's the problem. H at the first one, at the first transaction, h shall be the first transaction. H has to be negative infinity, because the first price, right, you cannot sell, right, because you cannot hold. Yeah, you can buy, but if you buy, then this value has to be negative, right? That's basically what it means. If you buy, then this value has to be negative. But if we have the h set to 0, then even if we buy, which is e minus p, right, e minus p, then this h will be 0, which means we're starting from a higher profit than it actually is. That's why we have to set the h to negative infinity. I like this drawing thing. I mean, I don't have a good tool with me, so I can actually write on it. But maybe that's something I can add to my inventory. So next time when I doodle on my paper, so instead of on the paper, I can doodle directly on this. Oh, that's a good thought. I mean, this is completely on my trackpad, which is not really a comfortable way to draw. Anyway, come back here. Take a look. Yeah, this is a regular solution, very regular solution. I mean, this type of question is basically, if you know the solution, you've done it before, you know it's a state machine, and it's solved pretty fast. But if you don't know, then it can be a little bit convoluted. So this is just a typical state machine solution. The only difference from all the other stock transaction problem is that we need to include fee when we perform sell. Yeah, I remember the stock balance sell has like what, 4 or 5 questions. I think I've done all of them. Just different varieties of setting up the state machine. And this one runs the ON, and we got a 692 milliseconds. Well, Python is slow. 77% ranking. All right. Let's go to the solution. I'm pretty sure this one has solution. Yeah. Let's see if I've done this before. I think I have not. No, yeah, this is the first time I've done it. All right, dynamic programming. Oh, it is straightforward, a state machine. They call it dynamic programming. Okay, yep, that's exactly the 2 states, right? The cache, which is the empty state, which means you don't have any stock, or H, hold, the holding state. So talking about the transition from ith day to I plus 1th day, we either sell our stock, which means we, this is the change in the empty state. Right, changing empty state is itself or holding state plus the price minus fee. Exactly. Well, we actually achieved quite similar, right? Or buy a stock. Yeah. At the end, we want to return cash. We can transform cash first without using temporary variables, because selling and buying on the same day can be better than just continuing to hold the stock. We can transform cash first, the empty state first, without temporary variables. Because I'm trying to understand the last sentence. Because selling and buying on the same day can be better than just continuing holding the stock. Okay, so which means we why would we need a temporary? So are you saying that the order of these two actually matters? I mean, yeah, it might actually matter. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't know. So usually how I approach is you always start from empty state. You always start from when you don't hold anything, right? You start from empty state and then you go to the next state. So there's a solution, when people getting amazed at how this one can be done. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, whoo, that is a lot of words. Yeah, we probably, let's read it again. Kind of refresh our idea. Only one share of stock can be bought or sold. A stock can be bought or sold for multiple times in one day, but it has to be sold before being bought again. The service fee is only charged when stock is sold. Yes. Cash I, the cash in hand. If you're not holding the stock, it's empty. You might be not holding the stock at the end of the day and do nothing, yeah. Or you might be holding the stock and selling it, yeah. Choose the greatest one as the value for it to get, yeah. Hold, yeah, I'm holding the stock, not doing anything. You might be not holding the stock. And buy it, yeah. You might be holding the stock at the end of the day, selling it at the day, and buy it again at the end of the day. Choose the greatest one as the value, yeah. So hold, yeah, that's true. It's more straightforward. You might be holding the stock at the end of the day and do nothing, okay. You might be not holding the stock, yeah. You might be holding the stock and selling it and buying it again on day I. I think this is just saying it's the same thing, right? Yeah, I think this is saying it's the same thing. Oh, it's actually not the same thing. It could be buying the previous one. Because still hold I is max hold I minus 1. Cash I minus 1. How'd you figure? Cash I minus 1. Or are they just saying they're the same thing? Then either I'm just continue holding the share I had yesterday, or that I held no share yesterday and bought in one share. No DP, just greedy. Oh, you can solve it in greedy. Yeah, because you can do I think as many times as possible, so that's why you can do greedy. I think I have also encountered that you can only just say like do 2 transactions, something like that. Well, you find one and then you sell immediately. What's the greedy part? Let's see. You find the minimum. No, the minimum's here. And then if you find a minimum, you update the minimum. If it's larger than this, you perform the transaction, right? So this is the transaction. That's the profit. And you update your minimum to price I minus fee. Yeah, that's basically your new price. The new price. So basically, each time we're trying to find the minimum so far, I'll just say the bottom, right? The valley. So we're trying to find the valley, and every time we find a hill, like even on the slope, we immediately take care of it and do as many transactions as possible. Anyway, so this question is 700. I don't know. I voted. Let's see. Greedy is good. Oh, good. Yep. There we go. That's all the. Oh, can I save this one? Subscribe, report. This will be a very good one for anybody to read. Oh, it's way too long. Oh my God. Oh, ooh, damn. This one needs to. I need to take a while. It did take a while to digest this. Maybe I should read it. You know, as a stock transaction, just kind of refresh the memory. Man, how can I save this? I I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna put it just a note here. Read this. Well, somebody has amassed this good post, so it's important for us to at least respect their efforts. I'm gonna read it, but I'm gonna end today's uh, daily challenge for now because I don't think it's necessary for me to keep this going on while I read this. But you guys should read this as well. This is basically you read this and you try all these questions, then you'll have a better understanding of how the state machine is used in this type of problem. All right, that will be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Adios.